The legendary investor Warren Buffett has two key rules to investing. Rule number one, never lose your money. And rule number two, never forget rule number one. For those of you who are starting on this journey of investment, your most important consideration will most likely be a return on your investment. And this is good, because the only way to get to financial independence is by having a high return on your investment. But let me propose to you that the cardinal consideration that you must have is the return of your investment. Now, this means that whatever investment you want to make, always ensure that you get your money back and that you never lose it. The prevailing wisdom says that the higher the risk, the higher the return. Now, this, ladies and gentlemen, is one of those myths that we have been fed with, that we have believed, and even romanticized. To quote Buffett again, he says that risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. So if you study the lives of men and women who over the years have achieved great things in investments, in politics, in sports, in spirituality, or any other endeavor that is worth pursuing, you will realize that they took very little risk. And how are they able to kill this risk? They did this by gaining full understanding of their subject matter and getting all the knowledge they could on that. So the best way to get rid of risk is to gain knowledge. About 2,500 years ago, the great Chinese war general Sun Tzu said that the victorious warrior first wins the war, then goes to battle. But the defeated warrior goes to battle and then hopes for victory. So before you invest, ensure you know how and why you will make money. Ensure you know how and why you may lose money. And most important, ensure you know what you need to do to ensure that this loss never happens. You must always know who you are investing in, because we don't just invest in things. Most importantly, we invest in people. You must know how your investment is protected from loss and why it can never be destroyed by the competition, by government policy, by changing consumer tastes, or even by natural calamity. Finally, if an investment only appeals to emotion, if you can't quite explain why it's a good investment, but you're just going with your gut, then you must run away from it. And if something is only an investment when, one, you fully understand its economics, all the numbers that are to do with that investments, that you fully understand them. Number two, you know all the landmines that are inherent within that kind of investment. So you must know all the pitfalls and where you could go wrong. And number three, and extremely important, you must know the people behind that investment. You really must study who is running the enterprise in which you're investing, because investments is ultimately about people. So remember, there are only two rules to investing. Rule number one, never lose your money. Rule number two, never forget rule number one. Thank you very much.